The Lord will use Russia to destroy Babylon. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachakwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. I wanted to do a response video to a video that Apostle Tahar did right here called Babylon the Great, There Is No Defense. You know, here in this this video that was done by GMS Awakening 144. Okay, and basically Putin has been Putin has basically been making a lot of nuclear threats to the U.S. Okay. Now, as we may know, Russia has nukes in Ukraine. And the United States came out and said if Russia was to use any nukes, there would be catastrophic consequences. Well, let me tell you something. You think those Russians are really worried about your empty threats? Look, man, them Russian soldiers are some warriors. You know, and Putin, he ain't worried about the United States. I mean, come on, look who the president is of the United States. You know, a joke, a fucking joke. Yeah, I'm talking about Joe Biden. Okay, he's a fucking joke. But anyways, ain't nobody gonna take the United States seriously when you got a president like Joe Biden in office. Come on, man. But yeah, Russia's been making a lot of nuclear threats lately, brothers. Hey, but we know that once those missiles go up in the air, that is our deliverance, our salvation. Because that's when Yahweh Shai, he's gonna crack them. He gonna crack them clouds. Well, he gonna crack them skies, and he's coming back to deliver his elect men, whosoever they may be out there. But of course, the MOTB has to be implemented. Of course, that has to be, you know, mandatory, which means the sooner that happens, the better, you know. Because then we know that the nuclear war is going to happen during World War III, which you might as well say we're in World War III, you know. But this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, verse 2. It reads, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog. Now, Gog and Magog is talking about Russia, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against them. Meshach and Tubal is talking about Turkey. Verse 3, and say, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. Okay, and I will turn thee back. Just a moment. Okay, it says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. And that's what the Lord is doing. The Lord is putting that cold Soviet era back in these Russians. Okay, you know, and basically what the Lord is doing is, you know, he's putting the spirit on Putin to bring back the Soviet Union. You know, because yeah, Russia, they're not feeling this USSR which the USSR was set up by the United States anyway. You know, the U.S. is to blame for that. You know, excuse me. So it says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. So the Lord is, no, he's turning Russia away from being an ally of the United States. You know, and what he's doing is that, you know, he's putting the spirit on Russia to go back to that Soviet era. You know, it says, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army. You know, did not Russia just do a mandatory draft? As far as I know, they have over 1,200,000 troops down there in Ukraine, and not to mention they are being aided by China. So it says, all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sort of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Which means what? Those Russians are very skilled with their guns. Okay? Ezekiel 38:5, it says, Persia, which is Iran, Ethiopia, and Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Ethiopia and Libya is talking about Hamites, the Hamitic people. It says all of them with shield and helmet. Okay, and then it goes on to say Gomer and all his bands, and the house. It says the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Okay, be thou prepared. And prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Right, so Russia is commanded to be a guard unto these smaller nations, such as Iran, Syria. Okay, verse 8, it says, after many days thou shalt be visited in the latter years, thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel. Okay, it says, which have been always waste, but is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Okay, verse 9, it says, thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Ain't that what Russia's doing? It says, thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land. Right, those over 1,200,000 troops down there in Ukraine. It says, thou and all thy bands, which is the bands is talking about the military, and many people with thee. Many. Check that out. Okay, it says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind. Well, let's see what Putin is thinking. Okay, he's talking about how they got intercontinental ballistic missiles, which can carry up to hundreds of nuclear warheads, that is capable of getting through U.S. detection systems. So the United States, your defenses is no match for Russia's firepower. It says, at that time shall things come into thy mind, right? And thou shalt think an evil thought. And what is that evil thought? Well, shooting nukes on this place. What else could it be? So, and the Lord's going to put it into his mind to do it, like it tells you in Revelation 17 verse 17. It says, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. Isn't that not the United States of America? okay, the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely. Yeah. Yeah, everybody over here on the soils of America, y'all ain't got to worry about bombs being dropped on y'all. Y'all ain't got to worry about random gunshots at night. You know, you're all dwelling safely. You ain't got to worry about a random grenade being thrown through your window. You know, you're all dwelling safely. It says, I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. So the Lord's going to put it in Russia's mind to do that. Okay? And Babylon's nuclear destruction is prophesied. Matter of fact, let's go to Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 14. Okay? Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 14. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows. Now, these arrows is not talking about actual arrows. These arrows are talking about intercontinental ballistic missiles. Okay? It says, for she have sinned against the Lord. And Russia's not the only country that's going to be shooting intercontinental ballistic missiles on America. Okay, China is going to be doing it too. China, North Korea, Iran. Many of these countries that are nuclear capable, they're all going to have a hand in shooting their missiles on America. Even NATO, okay? Because NATO is going to turn on America. And that's according to biblical prophecy. Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 11. Okay, Jeremiah 51, verse 11. It says, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the king of the Medes. Okay, the Medes, this is talking about modern day Russia. For his device is against Babylon to destroy it. You see? that device. What device? The intercontinental ballistic missiles. Okay? It says, for his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. Okay? Now, let's go up to verse 1. Okay? Jeremiah 51, verse 1, it says, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. And that destroying wind is going to come from the explosions of intercontinental ballistic missiles, which can carry up to hundreds of nuclear warheads. So that's where that destroying wind is going to come from. Verse 2 goes on to say, and I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, because when you take a fan to a flame, you're intensifying it. So I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. You see? So the Lord is going to be with Russia. When this nuclear war goes down, the Lord is going to be with them. Okay? So with that, I'm going to say, Shalom is on to the next one.